In today's NBA, paint protection is practically extinct, except in San Antonio. Right now, the restricted area against the Spurs might as well have yellow crime scene tape around it. Victor Wembanyama has turned it into a no-fly zone. His presence alone warps offensive strategy. Guards hesitate at the rim, bigs double clutch, and even elite finishers like Zion Williamson and Kyrie Irving look mortal when he's lurking nearby. In the first 3 games, he's been nothing short of terrifying. 9 blocks against the Pelicans, multiple chase downs in transition, and countless possessions where opponents simply gave up trying to attack. It's not just his length. It's his timing, his positioning, his understanding of space. When Wemby goes vertical, it's over. He blocks shots behind defenders, recovers on second attempts, and turns routine layups into broken plays. Every possession he defends is a highlight reel waiting to happen. That defensive backbone has completely changed the culture. In their first 2 games, the Spurs led the entire league in defensive rating at 102.1 and boasted a ridiculous plus 117.4 net rating. Even after the Nets game, those numbers barely moved. They're still the stingiest team in basketball. Defense is not just something they do, it's who they are. And the beauty of it is that their identity doesn't rely solely on Wembanyama's supernatural gifts. The entire team is bought in. They close out hard, rotate quickly, rebound collectively, and communicate like a unit that's been together for years. You don't see that kind of discipline in teams this young, but to truly compete, even the best defenses need offense. And this is where Wembanyama's evolution gets truly scary. Gone are the days of him floating around the perimeter like a 7'4" guard. This season, he's living inside, owning the paint, and bullying defenders like a seasoned veteran. Against Dallas, he dropped 40 on 15 for 21 shooting, and every point looked personal. He stopped settling for threes and started attacking, punishing defenders with drop steps, spins, and turnarounds that looked effortless. The Mavericks had no answers. Anthony Davis and Derek Lively tried to body him, but it didn't matter. He wasn't reacting to the defense. He was dictating it. You could see it in his eyes. This was a player who had something to prove. The following night against New Orleans, he delivered a 29-point, 11-rebound, 9-block masterpiece. The Spurs offense in the first half looked like the Spurs of old. Beautiful ball movement, everyone touching the rock. But in the second half, the coaching staff made a clear decision: run everything through Victor. 7 of their first 8 possessions after halftime ended with Wemby's fingerprints. He got deeper positioning, attacked with confidence, and dismantled the Pelicans from inside out. Then came Brooklyn, where he exploded again. 31 points, 14 boards, 6 blocks, 3 steals, and efficient shooting across all 3 levels. The jumper was smooth, the post-game was dominant, and the defense remained world-class. In 3 games, he's proven that his ceiling isn't hypothetical anymore. It's real, and it's here. At this point, the conversation is no longer about potential. It's about greatness. There's a growing argument that Victor Wembanyama might already be the best player in basketball. Defensively, there's no question. Offensively, he's catching up fast. When a 20-year-old rookie is putting up stat lines that sound like they came from a video game, you have to stop and acknowledge what's happening. He's not just a star, he's a system. A force that warps both ends of the floor around him. But what makes this version of the Spurs so compelling is that it's not just the Wemby show. The supporting cast has stepped up in ways that make this team truly dangerous. Rookie guard Dylan Harper, the number 2 pick in the draft, has been everything they hoped for: fearless, composed, and efficient. After a shaky start against Dallas, he turned it on in the second half, finishing with 15 points and 5 boards. By Game 3, he was orchestrating the offense like a veteran, dropping 20 points and 8 assists without a single turnover. That stat alone, the youngest guard in NBA history to record a 28 game with 0 turnovers, speaks volumes about his poise. Harper brings something the Spurs desperately needed: a steady hand at the point, someone who can control tempo, make reads, and feed Wemby without stalling the offense. Then there's Stephen Castle, last year's Rookie of the Year, who's evolving beautifully into his next phase. He's averaging 17 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds with strong efficiency. His defense remains elite, and his playmaking has matured. Against New Orleans, he calmly hit a go-ahead 3 in the final seconds of regulation, a veteran moment for a second-year player. And even when the numbers aren't flashy, he's impacting games with his defense, decision-making, and composure. Add in Devin Vassell's consistent shooting, Keldon Johnson's energy off the bench, and the veteran presence of Harrison Barnes, and suddenly the Spurs' rotation looks deep, balanced, and unselfish. And they're doing all of this without De'Aaron Fox, their second-best player, who hasn't played a minute yet this season due to a hamstring injury. Fox's eventual return will raise new questions about the rotation, but also elevate the team's ceiling. When healthy, Fox is one of the league's fastest guards, a 26-point scorer who led the NBA in steals 2 years ago and shot 37% from three. If he returns at that level, the Spurs' offensive ceiling skyrockets. The only concern is spacing. If Fox's three-point shot regresses closer to the 31% mark from last season, the floor could tighten for Wemby inside. But if it holds, San Antonio could suddenly become one of the league's most complete two-way teams. What's remarkable is how this team has leapfrogged the timeline everyone gave them. They were supposed to be a few years away from contention. Instead, they're already playing like a playoff-caliber team with real upset potential. Realistically, their ceiling might be the second round this year, but with the way they defend, that's nothing to scoff at. They can make life miserable for any high-seed opponent. Teams that rely on attacking the basket, like the Clippers, Nuggets, or Thunder, will find themselves in a nightmare matchup. And if everything breaks right, a Cinderella run to the conference finals isn't impossible. They might still be 1 year away from true contention, but the signs are unmistakable. The Spurs are back. This isn't the Spurs of the rebuild years. This is a franchise reborn, disciplined, dynamic, and dangerous. A team that plays with purpose, unity, and belief. And at the center of it all is Victor Wembanyama, the kind of player you only see once in a generation. He's not just living up to the hype, he's surpassing it. Now the question is yours. How far do you think this team can go? Are the Spurs already contenders, or is this just the beginning of a dynasty in the making? Drop your thoughts down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because if this is how year 2 looks, the rest of the league better start paying attention. The Spurs are no longer waiting for the future. The future has already arrived.